What is good, internet people? This video I'm going to do what I'm calling the battle of the blades, which is take two knives that I find similar, or maybe just two knives that I find interesting that I think compare well against each other. They might have similar prices or similar blades. Whatever the case is, instead of a review, I thought it would be more interesting to compare two knives head to head against each other and break it down by rounds to see which one outscores the other one at the end of the video. Today we are going to do the Drop Bear 2 made by Kizer against the Vosteed Kroc. This is the budget version, and this is also the budget version of the Drop Bear 2. Head to head, we're going to start with the carry profile. So as you can see, the Kroc is just bigger in most ways. It's slightly longer. It is quite a bit thicker than the Drop Bear 2. And then when they are closed, which is how they're going to be in your pocket when you're carrying them, the Vosteed is slightly taller, and then you have a more blocky profile, which I find a little bit more uncomfortable. You have these hard angles here, here, even here, and then also in the back. I think that, not that it is uncomfortable, but when you're reaching your hand in your pocket to grab something, or you sit down, the hard angles are going to protrude a little bit more into your hand or into your leg, depending what's going on. The more rounded features on the Drop Bear 2, to me, make it slightly more comfortable in the pocket. The pocket clips, the Drop Bears, is going to be just a little bit stiffer than the Kroc. The Kroc is going to bend out a little more. Both of them are ramp style pocket clips. When it comes down to it, I would definitely give carry profile to the Drop Bear 2. I find it more comfortable, and I do prefer to have a little bit of a stiffer pocket clip. The pocket clip can go both ways. This is much easier to slide in and out of your pants or shorts or whatever. I find this to be a little easier to carry in certain type of clothing because that pocket clip, but comfortability, I definitely give that round to the Drop Bear 2. So that is one round for the Drop Bear. Deployment on the Kroc, you've got the opening hole. You can Spidey flick, reverse flick it, or thumb flick it. And then you have the front roll that you can also use. With the Drop Bear 2, you have got thumb studs, so thumb flick, reverse flick, or on either knife you can use the button. You just press down, give it a little whip, and that can also deploy your blade. When it comes to the thumb hole versus the thumb stud, I think both of these are executed very well. I know sometimes it's nice to have a nice hole to put your finger in, but what really decides this round is that the Kroc has the front flipper, so that gives it one extra method of deployment, which also makes it a little fidgetier, more fidget friendly. I don't know how to say that, but I will give it to the Kroc, especially if you've never experienced a front flipper and you want to see what they're about. I would say the Kroc is a good knife to buy and try, not super expensive. Gives you that ability to practice and learn and see if it's something you do like. But deployment goes to the Kroc. So then when they are opened, when you're actually using your knife, which one is more comfortable in the hand? Where are these hot spots gonna be? So you got a nice good choil here on the Kroc. That sheep's foot Warncliffe blade gives your finger a nice place to rest up top. The handle is a little more contoured, which is nice. It fills the hand well because it is a little thicker of a knife, but it suffers the same problem as it did in carry profile to me. The liners not being inset into the G10, and then they did not do much rounding right in here, so you have a pretty hard angle right here, and when you're really choking up on the knife, bearing down on it, you can feel that coming right into your creases of your fingers for me, which does create a hot spot. On the Drop Bear 2, it is a much more rounded. You have inset liners, so you're not contacting the liners at all. And they really did a nice job of contouring the scales to just feel extremely comfortable. You got a nice choil here to choke up on if you need, or you can choke back. With this knife, I just don't feel any hot spots. Neither knife, the pocket clips aren't a problem for me. They don't create too much of a hot spot. The jimping on the Drop Bear 2, you've got some here on the liners, and then it goes all the way up the blade, and then you even have a little extra right there for your finger to land on when you're doing precision cuts. You don't really need the jimping up top on a sheep's foot blade, I find, because you have that flat spot to rest on, and you do have a nice amount of jimping right back here for your thumb. But overall, because of the hard angles on the Kroc, and then also you do get a little more jimping, I am going to have to give comfort to the Drop Bear. So then the locking mechanisms, which will be round 3. These are both top liner locks with a button. I have not had any reason to think that either of these will disengage or anything like that. I think Kizer and Vosteed do an awesome job with their top liner locks. So we're going to call that one a wash, give each of them a point for the locking mechanism. Next, we'll talk about the materials. So on the Drop Bear 2, you've got, I believe these are Rich Light scales on this model. And then on the blade, you have got AEBL. We have got T8s all the way around, even on the pocket clip, which is a nice touch. On the Kroc, we have got T8s everywhere except, let's see, yeah, so then T6 is on the pocket clip, which, whatever, but I will say having T8s all around is my preference. Both of the pocket clips are not inset into the scales, so that's a wash on either one. Both of them have a lanyard hole if you like lanyards. With the Kroc, you have a G10 backspacer. Here you just have the floating screws. So the G10 backspacer is a nice touch. On the Kroc, you've got 14C, 28N on the blade. You got the white G10 and then the G10 insert. They do have different color options. And on the Drop Bear, they have Drop Bears in just about every price range with all sorts of materials. I think they got some in 20 CV. I mean, they've got, I think I have a Drop Bear with S45VN. So, I mean, you can definitely pick your materials at the price point you want to get into. But as is, the 14C on the Kroc is generally considered an upgrade over AEBL. Plus, you've got the back spacer, which is a nice feature. I do wish it had the T8 screws on the pocket clip, but this is Battle of the Blades, and a 14C 28N blade is going to be better than an AEBL blade for what most of the community would consider an upgrade. So we're going to give it to the Vosteed Kroc. So now the last round. Right now we are at 3-3. But the last round we're going to talk about value and price. So in this configuration right here, the Drop Air 2 comes in at like $49. A lot of times Amazon has them on sale for $42, $43 if I remember correctly. The Kroc is $69. A lot of times they do run some kind of special where it's right at $60. So you're talking 43 to 50. You're talking 60 to 70 on the Kroc. When it comes down to it, which one do I think is the better value at those prices? We're going to just say 50 and 70 because that is the list price, not the sale price. For $50, it is hard not to pick the Kizer. AEBL is no joke on the steel. It's not, 440C or something like that. AEBL is a very nice steel. This knife is very comfortable. For the Kroc, 70 is not a bad price by any means. It's going right there with its competition. As far as which one is the better value, I have to give it to the Kizer. It is $20 cheaper, and I find the knife overall more comfortable and almost just better execution. I love my Vosteeds, but these rough edges, that is something that Vosteed should have taken care of from the factory. I don't want to have to get sandpaper out and sand down any G10. I think that should just be handled before it gets to me. So value-wise, we're going to go with the Drop Air. So that is another point for the Drop Air, giving it 4-3. So in the round count, the Drop Air takes the win. I do enjoy both of these knives though. I enjoy both these companies. I've never had any issues with Kizers or with Vosteeds. But when we're comparing them head to head, there's a lot of factors. I probably own more Vosteeds than I do any other brand, but in this one, I give it to the Drop Air. Thank you guys for watching. If you have anything you want to add to the video, or just comment into the comments section about the video, it is appreciated. Definitely appreciate anybody that decides to subscribe to the channel, that wants to see what the next battle is gonna be. And most importantly, love yourself and help out your friends and neighbors. A small good deed can go a long way.